Welcome back to Dear Work Wives. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm
This
Emily.
is my co-host and best work wifey, Emily Doyle.
So excited to be here still.
Yeah, we're wearing the same thing as last week.
Yeah.
Because
you are busy next week.
I'm busy. Booked and busy at Disney World.
I'm jealous, but also so excited for you because a girl's trip to Disney World sounds like a dream. Lila said if I ever tried to take Jess Oakley to Disney World, she would be so angry with me.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, Coco's a baby.
Yeah, this is the only time I'll ever be able to get away with this because Coco is a baby. And I know that I'm going to hear about it when Coco's older.
No, I think that you should take Coco for her 4th birthday. And I think you should just say that's what we do in this house. A mommy and daughter trip for your 4th birthday. You got yours and now Coco gets hers.
It's a good idea. And
We've
I feel
done it with
like
our kids.
if we have season passes, that'll be easier to do, you get to go with mommy for this trip and Coco gets to go with mommy and it is what it is.
It's just like how we celebrate that year and it is what it is. And I know it sucks right now, but you got your turn,
Yeah, okay. We'll see if I can hold to it, but
yeah, you'll be like, just kidding, you come too. But it does sound really cool to go just like you and one kid. That sounds really awesome. I would love to do that with both of my kids,
like such a special time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where you'll be.
Much looking forward to that. That's where I'll be. And she doesn't know yet. So that's also cute.
I know.
Except that Tyler said that he did tell her by accident. So we'll see if she remembers that or not. Because I was like, you weren't supposed to tell her. And that was like a month ago. And I did tell her, I said, we're doing something really special for your birthday. So, and she's like, I want to know. And I was like, okay, well, I'll tell you one part. I said, we're going to go stay at a hotel overnight.
This is her first time at a hotel, right?
First time at a hotel. So that's like
amazing.
When I told her that, she doesn't really know what that means. So I had to show her pictures of a hotel room.
Yeah.
To understand.
She was like, this is not that cool.
Yeah. I was like, she's like, what? And once she gets there, she'll be like,
yeah.
Showed her that even just you and mommy are going to sleep in the same room is exciting.
Totally. Yeah. Yes.
Just you and mommy.
Yeah.
And then she saw in the room they have a TV and she goes, they have a TV in our room. And I was like, yeah, TV in our hotel room.
Yeah. Just wait.
So girl. I told her we're going to stay in a hotel, but I didn't tell her where the hotel is yet, which obviously is at Disney World.
Nice. I can't believe you got upgraded. So jealous of that too.
I know. They called me and they said, do you want to upgrade for free? And I said, absolutely.
Yeah,
so we did that. So we'll get an even better room. And then the other day, so she gets what's called a DAS pass, which is a disability access something pass for her anxiety in waiting in lines and stuff around people and crowded spaces. But when you do that, you have to sign up every time you go. If you're they only last 60 days. So every time we've gone, I have to re-sign up for it. And she has to be present on this video call for me to get it. And so when I did it the other day, I did it the other night to get our DAS confirmation or whatever. He was like, oh, so you're so excited. And I was like, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. And he was like, okay, well, let's just get our picture. And, and then as we were getting off the call, he's like, and have a great time at the, bye.
Good for him. Good save.
Yeah, he did a good save. Yeah. And then at the end, she was like, because I was telling her, I was like, it's a surprise. So I can't tell you. Because she's like, what are we doing? Why are we talking to this man? What is, and I said, it's a surprise. I can't tell you right now.
Yeah.
And after the call, she goes, so what is the mystery that we couldn't tell him? And I was like, no. The mystery is we can't tell you. Lenny from Disney World knows the mystery. Okay.
That's so cute.
She thought we were keeping a mystery from him. I was
good for her.
No. I said, I'll tell you on your birthday.
Yeah.
And that's on Saturday and we leave on Monday. She hasn't asked anything else. She's not trying to get me to spoil the surprise. So that's good. But
that's good. You're going to have the best time.
I know, I was telling Tyler the other night, I was like, probably when I tell her, she'll go, I know, Daddy told me. We'll see.
Yeah.
Either she forgot or she's just going to act nonchalant. Like,
yeah. Oh, cool.
Daddy told her already. No big
Yeah.
deal, you know?
Well, just wait, Kit. Just wait.
Just wait.
Yeah.
So that's where I'll be. Very excited.
Yeah.
Her birthday's on Saturday, so we're just going to have the fam come over for some cake.
Yeah.
Because, and she requested like cupcakes for her class because like a couple of her friends have had like birthday parties recently.
Right.
And I think she's like,
where's
my birthday party?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, your birthday party is at school. Because they just do like cake at school.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then we're just going to have family over for your birthday party. She's like, oh yeah. I want to be with my family. I'm like, okay.
Aww. I love that.
Trying to not bum her out that she's not having like a big birthday party, but she's going to Disney World. So
right, like much better. When I told Lila about Taylor Swift because we're going, and I looked her dead in the eyes, and I was like, "That's your birthday party next year." She's like, "Okay." I was like, "No other party, just Taylor Swift," and she was like, "Okay." And, like she has to like, like okay, so we're clear, like. No,
and that will be the best birthday party ever. So
literally, we're staying in a hotel. We're going to Taylor Swift. You're gonna have the time of your life. But like, we're not also having a sleepover party. Like, no my friend. No. So yeah, I feel you on that. Cool. Well, I hate you a little bit, but only a smidgen. I hate you as much as I hate anyone who gets to go to Disney World any day. So
right.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Okay. Cool.
But we get to go together soon. So
I know. So it's great. Yeah.
All right. We're going to do a work-related this or that for you. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Just play some fun games. So I'll have to adapt some of these because you work from home. But like, do you make your lunch at home or order lunch typically?
99% of the time I make my lunch at home. I think I've only ever ordered lunch when the company has paid for it and we're like, let's everyone order lunch. And I think very rarely I'll go out maybe and grab something if I'm having a sad day and want to eat my feelings. But usually I just eat leftovers or I eat whatever I can find.
Yeah. Do you like a silent office while you're doing work or do you have something playing typically?
Usually if I'm doing really like hard work, silent. If I'm doing admin, then I might have something on Bravo on in the background.
Do you have a tidy desk or a messy desk?
Messy. As I look around. Now I have 2 rulers, your Christmas card, my Taylor Swift rosary candle, 3 other candles, 2 cups. Yeah, like I have a lot of stuff on here. A random Post-it note.
I have like 5 lip things I just noticed.
Oh, wait, that doesn't even my desk drawer is shambles. So
that's like one downside of this desk. It doesn't have a drawer.
Oh, you need that
desk
drawer.
Just literally has 5
lip products. Yeah.
What
do I have in here? 1, 2. I think I have 4 lip products in here in my drawer. And the one I normally keep in here is in my purse because I wasn't sitting at my desk for 2 weeks. So, and I have Oakley's Magic Band. I gotta remember that. Don't know why it's in my desk drawer, but
surprise,
boys.
Would you rather have a phone call or a Zoom call?
Zoom call. Absolutely. I want to see people's faces. There's nothing I dislike more than a Zoom call with video off. Because then I would rather just be on the phone.
Right.
Because then at least I can like put headphones in and walk around. But if I'm like sitting at my computer having to talk to someone, then video on, please.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm always like, can we Zoom? Like, And then sometimes people, I'll just call you on your phone. I'm like, oh God.
No thanks.
I don't know why it's so much more comfortable for me to like see their face and talk to them versus being on a phone call. It's essentially the same thing, but I don't like it. I
like to see people. And because we work from home, so it's like I'd like to see another human being.
Just gives me anxiety, the phone call versus I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel you.
Are you an Apple girl or a Windows girl?
Apple. No question.
Ugh. Would you rather have more money and work longer hours or less money and more free time?
This is an impossible question. Because I want more money so I can do more stuff. So I need more free time to do the stuff to spend the money. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, what am I? Yeah. I know that everyone's like, oh, you don't need money, blah, blah. But if I have more free time, but I have no money to do anything, like take trips or shop, then what's the point? Mm-hmm. So I don't think that there's an answer for that one. I want both. I want more money and more free time.
Yeah. Dream job and retire in 50 years or terrible job and retire in 10 years?
Terrible job, retire in 10 years. Done.
Team leader or team player?
Oh, ooh. I like being a team lead, but I know my strengths enough that I have to be a team player a lot of the time. I don't know. What would you say?
For you or for me?
Both. You're a leader, obviously.
I prefer to be the team leader. Mm-hmm. I think you're both too. It's hard because like you're a good chameleon of like when I need you to lead, you're really good at leading. When I need you to play, you're really good at playing.
Right. That's good. That's why I am in the role I'm in.
Work later or start earlier?
Start earlier. No question. After 3:00, I'm done. Brain dead.
After work drinks or a movie at home?
A movie at home. Yeah. I don't drink alcohol during the week.
Do you take criticism well or badly?
I do not take it well. No. I think I have learned how to manage my feelings around criticism better, but I still will beat myself up about criticism, like internally.
Do you prefer messages with or without emojis?
With.
So that you can know if
I think that emojis help set the tone. And just can we all get on the same page that the thumbs up is passive aggressive? Stop using it.
Yeah, that it's a big F you. It's like basically using the middle finger.
Yeah, it's like, cool. Set a heart, okay?
Yeah. Uniform or no uniform?
I mean, if my uniform can be a crew neck and leggings, then uniform. Actually, I will say that like uniform takes the guesswork over like what I need to wear to work. Investing in clothes that are just going to get destroyed. Like uniform. When I was a chef, I just like it was so easy. You just had to my work clothes, and I liked that.
Yeah, I was thinking about it just made me think of this as it relates to like work events too. Like men, I feel like have it so easy. They wear like a t-shirt of their brand and it's so smart. It's like an easy thing to wear and it looks fine. Whereas with a woman, like I don't know, I feel like
it doesn't look the same.
No, it doesn't look as elevated.
It looks so much more casual.
It looks
unless you dress it up with like a silk skirt. You know what I mean? And then it's like I'm wearing a silk skirt. Like I could literally go this is the epitome of what 17 magazine told me day to night was going to be. A slip dress with a t-shirt over top. And afterwards I'm going to like a semi-formal wedding. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just feel like in the last year or so, I think, well, I mean, for a long time, but like I want to be fashionable, but it doesn't make economic sense for me, to be honest. You know, what am I buying all these clothes for? To sit on Zoom? You know what I mean?
I don't know, because like I have all these clothes that like I don't want to wear on Zoom, so I never wear it.
Right? Like I'm not wearing a dress.
All right, I have all these like dresses and I go somewhere like 3 times a year that I would even put that dress on. Yeah. And then when I go to get ready for said event, I'm like, I think I'll just wear jeans and a black shirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, when am I wearing all these things?
I know. I love I love people in general, but like I specifically love women who like really dress. I'm just like, oh, and I know I can, like, I know there's no, like, I could absolutely just really dress up. And like, I think that they just look so put together and so chic. And like, I love when you can see people's personality through their clothes, but like catch me just wearing the same Scorpio crew neck for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So
Look at you sporting your Taylor cardigan.
I got my Taylor cardigan on again. Well, again, because it's 20 minutes after the last episode. So yeah, this was expensive, so I will be wearing it.
Exactly. All right. You ready for some stories?
Yes.
Before we dive into the stories, I'm just going to remind you again, as I'm going to remind you every episode, if you have a story that you would like to submit, please go to dearworkwives.com. Go and submit your story. It'll take you 2 seconds. It's anonymous. We'll give you some good advice or
bad advice.
Or bad advice. You never know. You know.
Yeah.
Could be either.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First story is, how do I deal with everyone stopping by my desk to talk? My desk is in a high traffic area, which results in a lot of social chatting from passerby. It's affecting my work, and I'm unsure how to combat this.
I have the solution.
Oh, I think I do too, but tell me yours first.
Okay, so I implemented this during COVID because I work in an open floor plan room, and when my kids are home all the time. So I have one of these octopus, and when I'm not available to talk, he's a frowny face. And when I am available to talk, she's got her happy face on. And I put it on my desk, and it's like a signal of like, I'm working right now versus, yeah, sure, come talk to me. And you can do anything like this. Like, you need I believe you need a visual cue on your desk and not one that requires you to tell people like, oh, I'm actually working. Like, cause no, it needs to be like something like in office, out of office, just like right on your desk. That's what I think.
Yeah, there's like Kate goes to ballet at like a dance studio, but they also have like drama, musical theater, like theater classes and stuff. And there's like a recording sign. It's almost like that, but for your desk, right? Like, I'm recording or I'm working right now.
Like, I cannot be interrupted right now. It's the same as Slack or Teams where you can set your status where it's like, I'm working, but that doesn't mean I'm open to talk, you know?
Yeah. I was gonna say headphones because this person sounds like they're in like an open floor plan. Like, put yourself some headphones on because people are gonna be way less likely to stop and talk to you.
Yes, for sure.
Have, like, mega headphones on, but maybe it's a combination of both too. Like because if you do like the octopus thing, if you're just listening to the podcast, you didn't see Emily's octopus.
It's like a stuffy. I'm sorry, it's like a stuffed animal, and I like can flip it one way or the other way.
Yeah.
So cute. I love it.
At the office, you'll have to tell people what that means first, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
Like, tell them.
Yeah.
Or you could literally have a sign that's like
a message board.
Or it turns red when you're working, like something visual that they can see.
Yeah.
And add your headphones on top.
Yes. And then always add your headphones on top. If I worked in an office with like an open, like I would have headphones all the time, and I would not work in silence. I would work with like, because I get so easily distracted by everything going on around me that I would need something that like blocks all that out for sure.
Yeah. Noise canceling. Yeah. And then I think similar to what I do on airplanes, like if you have your headphones in and like they're noise canceling or whatever, you can still hear someone like trying to talk to you, then like make them interrupt you a few times and then be like, oh, what? Sorry. Like, sorry, I was working. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
So that they get the hint that like,
yeah. Doors closed.
Trying to ignore you, but you're making it really hard for me right now.
Yeah.
Or with the headphones on, just completely ignore them. Just like noise canceling, pretend you don't hear them at all, and then they'll probably just walk away.
Yeah.
Because they're probably not even sharing anything really important. It's just passerby, they said.
Like,
so it's like literally just like, how's it going? Like, how many times do you have to do that a day? That sounds terrible. You might also request to move your desk, like, with your manager. If you're not like a front office person that like needs to have like the front desk for work reasons, like you could communicate like, hey, everyone stops and talks to me, and while I love everybody here, like I'm not getting my work done. Like I need a request to like move into a different area that's not as high traffic. You know? So I would try those things first, and then good luck to you. All right, next story is, our office staff is expected to clean the toilets. Hello, we're moving offices in April, and the directors had a meeting about it yesterday. They told me and one other man in the office that there will be a cleaning rotation for the men's toilets, but just us two on it. There are 10 men that work in this office, 3 that are full-time. 1 is a director, but he hasn't included himself in the rotation. The others come and go as they work on building sites, etc. So they're not on the rotation. Do you think it's acceptable for us to ask us to have to clean after 10 different men, or even to clean a toilet at all? It is not part of my job.
So I've worked in a really small office before, and like we rotated around, like having to wipe things down, like wipe the sink down, and I think that they had like maybe a monthly cleaner come in and do like the deep, but it was just like a small office with a few people, you know, like it wasn't that big of a deal. And I mean, I've worked in restaurants, someone has to clean the staff wash, you know, it's like, I don't know how you would have the like coming and going employees in the rotation, you know, if they're not, if they're like, oh, I just got to come in and drop off some paperwork, or have a 1 hour meeting with the director and then I've got to go here.
Clean the toilet.
I think this is one of those things where like, I get it. And if it really bothers you that much, I would talk to the director and be like, can we look at the office budget and see if there's room for like a bi-weekly cleaner who comes in for an hour and does these things? Because like, this is disgusting. But also, I don't think it's that much of a stretch for people to have to like maintain their small office space. But maybe I'm at a base, but I don't know. I know it's gross, but it's also just like, you know, it's just, I don't know.
I think it's a tough one, because like, it seems unrealistic to have cleaners. How often are you going to have them come in? Like, they're not coming in daily, like weekly might even be too much, you know? And what if the toilet needs cleaning in between then what are we
we're just leaving
doing? So I think number one, being responsible for cleaning up after yourself. And maybe there's other like, clean down the sink, or wipe that, like,
sweep the floor,
our space that we're coexisting. So we're trying to like keep it nice in between the cleaners. So maybe you don't have to like scrub the toilet, and that can wait maybe for the cleaners, like under the, you know, but like don't pee on the seat, because and if you do, then you are responsible for cleaning that up. But that's hard, because who's going to police that, you know? Yourself.
And it'd be you calling out the other two people in the office, being like, hey, this would be like Lila having to come in and tell Oakley, like, go clean, you peed on the seat. You know, like, it's just, he's 8, so, you know, but like grown men, I don't know. I get it. I don't think it's an enjoyable part of working in a small office, but I do also think like, be proactive about, okay, like we need to find room in the budget then. Like, what's the expense on running this office? Like, how do we find another $200 a month, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one, truly.
Yeah. I empathize with you, but I also would just do it. Like, personally, if it was me, I'd be like, okay, well, I guess if the 2 full-time employees, like, because like I also like, I don't know, I wouldn't also expect the director to be I wouldn't expect the director to be in the rotation personally. Like, maybe that's like me being a victim of patriarchy. Even if it was a woman, it doesn't matter the gender of the director. I would just like, I just wouldn't, I would be fine with that. I'd be like, okay, well, there's 2 of us and we're switching off, you know? But sometimes my old schoolness comes through, and maybe that's what it is, you know? Or I'm just like, it's practical. Like, you just have to have a clean bathroom. So I clean my bathroom at home. Like,
I think it really depends on like the size of this office, you know, like if it's like a mom and pop type of, or like small business type of thing, like, we're not having and then there's really only 2 people that typically use the 2 or 3 people that typically use the bathroom. Like
I'm picturing like a 1 room. It's like a toilet and a sink and like a toilet paper shelf. You know what I mean? Like, I'm picturing this like basic room. It's like, I don't think that it's that big of an ask.
It's not like we're in this big like office building where
you have to clean like 7 stalls and all the sinks. But sound off in the comments if I'm being delusional, because that's totally possible. But I'm also just like,
Like, if you work in a small office, who cleans your toilet?
Yeah.
Because we're work from home people for a long time.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just very out of touch.
And previous to that, like, I did work in a corporation where we had obviously people that cleaned the office toilets, because there was hundreds of us that,
Interesting.
And previous to that, like, same, works at a different corporation. When I was in high school, I worked at like a burrito shop and we had to clean the toilets.
Yeah,
you know,
I worked in a restaurant, a cafe, coffee shops. We had to clean the bathrooms. Like,
yeah, like I wasn't a custodian or a janitor, but that was part of
closing duties,
the end of shift responsibility, closing duties.
Yeah. So,
and sometimes it was gross.
Okay, well,
but you wear gloves, you wear your PPE.
Yeah.
So make sure your person is providing that. Like,
right.
You do need PPE.
Yeah. And maybe the cost of providing like all the PPE means you could just get a cleaner to come in. But every so like your point, even if a cleaner came once a week, like it's still very likely something will need to be cleaned in the interim. So,
yeah,
just clean up after yourself, maybe. All right.
Next story. Do I have a caring or a suspicious manager? So the gist of it is this person was sick. They called in sick, and then the next morning received a text from their manager asking like if they're okay, like what are their symptoms, like what's going on, how long have they had them, etc. And now they're like, are they caring or are they like wanting me to get back to work? Like what do we think
there's so many
here is?
There's so many variables that make me have like, so if this was say anything in hospitality, I as the manager would want to know, how sick are you? Are you sick with something super contagious? Are you going to be out for 1 day or 4 days? You know,
did you potentially give it to other people here?
Right. Like, because if you just call, like, say you just texted like the night before and I'm just getting it, I'm like, okay, are you out for the rest of the week because you have like the stomach flu, or, you know, and I know that we're not entitled to that information. Right. So they definitely are crossing a line. Like you can call in sick like 1 day at a time, but as like in certain industries, I might be like, oh, do I need to like cover you for a few days? Because like I will, just let me know. So there's definitely potential that they are just trying to fish out like how serious it is to see how that's going to impact the rest of the business. Right. They could be trying to catch you in a lie if they're like, well, what are you sick with? But I feel like it's more likely that they're just trying to cover their butts, or just being like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Are you dying or do you have a cold?
Yeah. I agree. I think I would say give them the benefit of the doubt that they're just, and if there's things that you don't want to share, then you don't have to, obviously, like that's your personal private information. But I would say they're probably coming from a caring place, but also trying to figure out, is this contagious? Impact. Is anyone else about to get it? How much do we have to cover? Like, should I plan for you being out for more days? Like, those are the managerial responsibilities that they're probably thinking of. Right. And it's also okay for you to not share certain information, but just think about your coworkers. If they were exposed or things like that, there might be things that you do want to communicate that would just be kind, not that they're
right. Like, oh, I just got diagnosed with COVID. Like, okay, well, you worked with a shift with 20 other people yesterday, so
right,
we should all be on alert. You know,
you have to, like, is that something, and you may not know the answer to this, like, is that something that you do have to share, or is that just like a social etiquette, like you should share? Because I'm thinking about like, if you have an STD and you know you have an STD and you expose someone to an STD, that's actually illegal.
Yeah.
So is that the same thing for like,
I wonder,
exposing someone to viruses?
I wonder, because honestly, like it must not be, because people travel sick all the time. You know, like they get on airplanes sick all the time. They go places sick all the time, which I think is also why, you know, the years 2020, 2021 were so wild, because if you had a sniffle, you were all of a sudden patient zero. People were getting sick with other things during that time. But of course, it was just like everyone was on high alert for any sort of sickness. Yeah. If I think it's like personal.
On my water, like I choked on water or something, and I'm like, oh god, they probably think I have COVID.
Right.
Like,
and like I can like even like like just water, or like James's work, like if they happened to have someone in the truck with them, because he works for like, he, you know, drives, and if they happen to have someone supporting him in the truck, it's like, I would want to know if like the person's partner back home who was in the truck with him had COVID, because it's like, well, then you could have COVID and then James could get COVID. And like, so I think it really it's better to just tell people, like, you know, like just so that people can prepare. But then I think it also created a lot of like, if you heard that you're 2 steps away from someone who had it, all of a sudden I had it too, because like my nose would start, like I definitely get placebo effect symptoms when I hear someone is sick. Convince myself. So I think it's just social etiquette to tell people, like, and I think like, you know, we both have kids, so there's been a few times we've come home from the weekend with James's family, and then the next day one of my kids wakes up sick, and you're like, oh, I immediately text everyone like, just an FYI, my kid has hand, foot, and mouth, which means he definitely was incubating it when we were together, so watch out, you know?
Yes, it's just the kind thing to do, but yeah, you legally don't have to tell anyone, I guess, if you have COVID. It's just kind of messed
or any
up,
sickness,
in my opinion.
the flu, the cold, because all of like, these things are
but like if you exposed people and you don't tell people, like, I don't know, that seems really
I know
dirty.
Like even now, like, you know, now that we're all through, I mean, I know COVID still exists, but like we're through a lot of that period. But even now, like if we're having friends come over, we'll say, hey, you know, so-and-so has a runny nose or they're coughing. Is everyone comfortable still? If not, we'll stay home. And 900 times, like most of the time, we're like, it's fine. But there are a few symptoms that we might be like, actually, or if we've got something coming up, like, actually, we can't really risk getting sick right now. So we'll stay home if everyone else is cool, you know?
Yes.
So I think it has opened the door to just being a little bit more transparent around, I have allergies, or I have a cold, I've tested, but it's also personal, private medical information that you really don't have to share with anyone.
Yeah.
So there's a rabbit hole we went down. But all that to say that I think
unless it's your sexual partner, and then you do have to share if you have an STD.
Yeah, because that is vile.
Just like there's this one loophole of like, you do have to share that, but you don't have to share if you have COVID.
If you have COVID.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Or the flu.
Or pneumonia, bronchitis, like any of those things, you know?
I mean, those other really contagious things.
Hand, foot, and mouth, like thrush. Like all of these things are all things adults can have too that are highly contagious.
Yeah.
An eye infection. Like, think about, like, I get cold sores. You know what I mean? Like, I don't kiss anyone when I have one, but...
Have you seen the new Trolls movie?
Not yet. We want to see it, though. Is it good?
Yeah, but there's this part in it where like one of the characters is a parent, and then the kid has like pink eye.
Oh, yeah.
Like telling the dad, and like the mom is like, get out of here before you get infected.
Yeah.
Because it's so true. Like,
yeah. Remember like chickenpox, when we all get chickenpox as a kid, and then you had to say like, oh, little Timmy's got chickenpox, and then everyone would be like, okay, well, we're all coming over then to get it so that it's done.
Let me come over. That's how I kind of felt during COVID sometimes, of like, let's just all get it then.
I was very firm that if one of us got it, we were all gonna lick the same spoon and just get it, because then it was done. I didn't want to drag it out where it's like, Oakley's got it, and then 4 days later Lila gets it, and then a week later I get it, and then all of a sudden 2 months have gone by. It's like, no, we're all gonna
quarantining for like a full 2 months, and
but knock on wood, we're immune because no one ever got it in my house.
Same here. We're a Novid family so far.
Yeah. And we're up to date on our boosters and everything as much as we can be. Like our they don't have it for the kids right now. They're out of pediatric shots, but we're doing our part, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, we still haven't got it.
We got here, but here we are.
Let's get out. Because I know this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people.
Was sick. I was like, was this about the toilets one?
No, the sick person and their manager being nosy. I also think it depends on your manager. Are they the type of person who just like asks a lot of questions and has weird boundaries? Because it could just be being like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What's wrong with you? Like they just want to know because they're nosy.
Or are they like, are you really that sick? Like, get into work today.
That's like, and if you work a retail job, that's probably what it is. or hospitality, which is wild. The amount of times, like when I was a server or a cook, chef, when the amount of staff who worked sick around your food. Sorry, people. I think it has gotten better now because I think COVID really did help with the understanding of like, I don't want you to be sick. Like, no, who was it? No, my sister-in-law or cousin-in-law, she was getting her eyelashes done or her eyebrows, one of those things. Her teeth, she's getting her teeth whitened and her tech was sick.
Oh.
And she was like, my mouth is just open. Like,
yeah.
It's like, no,
was she wearing a mask?
I don't want to throw her under the bus. So anyway, like the tech, you know, people have too good of sleuthing skills and they could figure it out. But it's like, we don't work sick anymore. Okay. If you're going to see the public, don't work sick.
Yeah, no.
And managers, if your team is sick and they're coughing, runny nose, like, don't guilt them into working. I would rather wait 15 minutes than potentially be exposed to any sort of illness that's going to take out my family. Like,
right.
Like not take us out like Hitman style. But I mean, just like, I don't want to catch a cold from Wendy's because I'll just wait 5 extra minutes for my fries. Okay.
Yeah. Or just tell me to not get Wendy's today. Like, if you need to close, that's the cost of doing business. Okay. Yeah. But I don't want to get sick from your food.
Yeah.
It's really gross to think about. I wish you hadn't talked about it.
I'm so sorry. It's not so bad anymore. Yeah.
It's probably still bad.
It's not. And also, while we're talking about things in restaurants, PSA, because like I see this all the time, like comments on TikTok videos when people are like, and they're not even wearing gloves. And I'm like, listen, people, they wash their hands 15 million times a day. And wearing gloves actually gives you like a false sense of cleanliness in the kitchen because your skin's not feeling dirty. So you don't rinse them off as much. It's actually much more sanitary to just wash your hands, which they do all the time. But when you think about, you walk into places like Subway and they're like putting on those disposable gloves for everyone, it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like I understand that. Like if that's what they're doing, if they're putting on, but like
a new pair,
most people, like, you know what I mean? So I just need that PSA that like, it's not unsanitary to cook with your hands. Okay. We're washing our hands. We wash our hands all the time. There's hand wash stations every 3 feet in a kitchen. Like,
yeah.
So,
yeah. And like, I went to get like, some Botox the other day and she had gloves on. And then I realized like, okay, great. She has gloves on. But then she went out to the front desk to do something. And then she came back and she was like touching a pen. And now she has her gloves on. But I'm like, but she's touching a pen that has, you know what I mean? Like, that's not
like the glove is
more
not
sanitary than her hands.
No.
At this point, because it's touched other things.
Exactly. So that's what I mean about wearing gloves can give people like a false sense of like, well, your hands are clean, but the gloves are not anymore, right? So unless we're taking them off, putting them on every time we touch a new utensil, like
they come in your room, they put the gloves on, they touch you, whatever they need to do, and then they take those gloves off immediately. Like that I get, but that is not what's happening if someone's wearing gloves at like a restaurant or something.
No, because they're cooking, you know what I mean? So anyway, just a PSA that like if you see people cooking and they're not wearing gloves, like it's okay. They're washing their hands.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Bring it back around to something positive. All right. Well,
all right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.